And this is where Voddie comes in in such a helpful way. We've all talked about this, and they use the most effective tool imaginable, which is they call you a racist and they think you're going to shut up.
I've often said, there is an 11th commandment. And the 11th commandment is thou shalt be nice. And we don't believe the other 10. And what these people are trying to do is avoid having to confront ideas that oppose them and to avoid debate. Like real debate and real disagreement and discussion. We don't want that. We recoil from that. And one of the ways that you get around that is to not believe anything, to not stand for anything, just to say I'm not that and I'm not that. Right? Because if I'm one of those things, then I'll have to suffer the slings and arrows that come from the other side. And I don't want to be about combat.
Any one thing that white people and black people have different biologically.
Don't change the question of this. DNA-wise, we are different.
No, we're not. That's a lie. It has been disproven. Front page of National Geographic 6 months ago. Racism created by society. If you look at DNA independently in a science laboratory, they cannot distinguish between a black person or a white person if they look at just the DNA, because the only difference is the melanin. It has been disproven. Race is a social construct that I want to break out of.
This world. It is a biblical teaching to not conform to the ways of this world. Yet so often, Kirk, the number one piece of feedback I get on our program here on our podcast, they tell us, Charlie, I am afraid I will lose this. And I say, that fear is a tactic used by the enemy to silence truth.
Right.
And that fear is understandable. But if you succumb to that fear, then all of a sudden you are playing into the greatest weapon used by the opposition. And I just want to acknowledge something. There is a cost to this. I'm not going to lie to our audience. I'm not going to lie to your audience. And I'm also not going to say if you do nothing, you're a coward. I am not saying that. A lot of people have different pressures and they have different decisions to make, bills to pay, children to take care of.
That's right.
So I'm not doing this. I'm not saying you're a bad person. What I am saying, though, is people say, what do I do? Well, that's an action step. But brave and courageous and moral things, Kirk, rarely don't come without a cost. If you want to do something meaningful, then you have to be willing to sacrifice for that something.